Hello and welcome. I'm Christian Frehner and I will instruct you about the correct pronunciation of extraterrestrial names and other names and terms. There have been various requests by different persons in the last years about this correct pronunciation, and now with this short lecture I will fulfill these or answer these requests. There is a reason why Billy Meier is writing his books in German. Because as the Plejaren have said, that's the extraterrestrials, German, Swiss German also is the best and the only language in which you can explain all aspects and all details of the spiritual teaching. And because of this, I thought it's necessary and advisable if I start with a short introduction in some basics of the German language. Okay? I will start now with reading these names here for you, which are representing the alphabet. And while listening to my reading, you will notice that the names are pronounced differently when compared to English or any other language. Or at least the names are differently written. Okay, we start here. Adam, Boris, Cäsar, Daniel, Eva, Franziska, Gabriel, Hugo, Iris, Josef, Karl, Lisa, Michael, Nikolas, Oskar, Peter, Quetzal, Rolf, Stefan, Thomas, Urs, Verena, Werner, Xaver, Yvonne, Zita. As you may have realized, in German you pronounce the words exactly as they are written. And I will demonstrate this to you in 2 sentences. Okay. This sentence here, I am the man who speaks to you. If this would be a German language sentence here, it would be literally read like this. I am the man who speaks to you. Or written as said in German, I am the man who speaks to you. And here an example in French, so you can compare it. Je suis l'homme qui parle avec vous. That's the same sentence in French. If this would be a German sentence here, it would be read literally like this. Je suis l'homme qui parle avec vous. Je suis l'homme qui parle avec vous. It's different what is said here than what's written here in French. German is based on the old and very ancient language German, which itself is based on extraterrestrial sources. Here I present you a few specifications you will have to know for the correct pronunciation of the names that I will present a little bit later. These letters here, the F, PH and V, are all pronounced identically. And PH here has some reference to Old Greek. We have here Fenster, the window, Physik, physics, Vogel, bird. At least this is the case here at the beginning of these words here. These letters here are also pronounced identically, We have here the Haken, Haken, Quelle, the Haken is the hook, the peck, Haken is to hack, to hash, and Quelle, the well and the spring. And here, the combination of C and K thus actually accentuates the K here. Haken, Haken. These two combinations of letters are pronounced as sh, 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 like shoe, shoe. But when the S and the T are within a word, not at the beginning, like here in Straße, it's pronounced as ST, Fenster, Fenster, Straße, Fenster, window, and in Swiss German it would be said as Fenster or the Feister with an SCH. And here, this combination here of CH is pronounced as in High German and stronger in Swiss German. And it means here China, China, China. And here, this word here, it's coming from the French. It has been important from the French language. And it's spoken as chance, chance, chance in English. Here, down here, you see the so-called umlauts, ä, ö, ü, as in the words here, später, later, Körper, body or corpse, über, over. Here, in the green, the epsilon, is spoken in German as a nü, ü, like here, Psyche, die Psyche, Psyche. As a kind of a repetition, in German you are writing the words exactly as you pronounce them. And I give you another example with a sentence from the Ohm. Worte sind wie Blätter, Taten aber wie Früchte. Words are like leaves, but deeds are like fruit or fruits. The combination of I and E here is usually pronounced as a long I. And here, the two T accentuate the T, just as it is the case in English. This small glimpse into the German language and the basics has prepared you for the next step here in my little lecture, namely the names of extraterrestrial persons. Svat here was the old man with whom young Eduard Meyer had contact with between age 5 and 16. During the following 11 years, it was a woman called Asket, who was Eduard's teacher. And take note here that the name is correctly pronounced as Asket and not Asket. In German, the German language, we have the asket, ascetic in English, but her name is Asket on the first, the emphasis on the first letter, Asket. Here, Ptah, the son of Svat and the father of Semjase. The H here and here at the end of Svat and Ptah is not pronounced, and both names were in use in ancient times here on Earth by extraterrestrials. Semjase is a name that is frequently mispronounced as Semjase. And as you can read here, you will notice it's quite a contrast of the meaning here, because correctly pronounced Semjase means half goddess, It's kind of a title used here as a name. And if used or pronounced as Semjase, it means curse goddess, Fluchgöttin, cursing goddess. And of course this is a negative, it has a negative meaning. The next page here is the Plejaren. That's not Plejaren or anything like this, Plejaren. And on the one hand is the name of the star system in another dimension, many light years beyond the Pleiades, which we see on our night sky. And on the other hand, it's the name of the people, or inhabitants you could also say, of that star system. The people living on the Plejaren are the Plejaren. And Ple means Siebenheit, or sevenness, and Jaren means law or Gesetz. And here we have the male and female forms of these dwellers of the Plejaren, literally translated as dweller of sevenness. Here in the red color you see it's just the case also, as is the case also in the extraterrestrial language, it's also the case here in German. In German you have differentiation between male and female here, which is not the case in English. In English you have the simple, just one form for woman, child or man. Plejare, the Jare and the Jara. Jare means the man, and Jara the woman. And if we would say he's a Plejari or he's a Jari, you read this as an E here, this would mean destruction. And so if you say Plejari, he's a Plejari, this means the destruction of the sevenness. Now, after this introduction about the correct spelling of the certain names here, I will present you the list of the names of all persons with whom Billy Meyer so far had a contact. We are starting now with the oldest one here. Sfat, Askhet, Semjase, Quetzal, Ptah, Nera, Andron, Daniel. Andron, by the way, he is the biggest one, the biggest person Billy so far had contact with. His size is 5 meters and 20 centimeters. And Daniel here, he is 2 meters and 50, about 50 centimeters size. Pleia, she's the sister of Semjase. And Ptah, that's her father. Menara, Rala, Alena, Asina, Isados, Elektra, Sama, Ektol, Lumia, Ters, Solar, Talida, Zeltan, Florina, Tauron, Zafinat Paneach, Samyang, Enyana, Sudor, Fetanica, Taneta, Nefratisa, Gaudon, Queda, Inobea, Melchora, Urlana, Jaspan, Naidesha, Kladenai Karina, that's one person, Susanka, Sugam, Xeruela, Xeruel, Xeruala. These are triplets here, the brother and 2 sisters. Safarina, Xavadon, Yoganda. Until here, this person were in contact with Billy until his 80th birthday on the 3rd of February 2017. These persons here appeared in the meantime since May 2017 until now we have March 2018. As you may have realized here, all the names here except Semjase with a at the end are female names, like this here, here. Here I've listed the 7 prophets of the Nocodemian line, who were and are enlivened by the Nocodemian spirit form, namely Henoch, pronounced as Henoch, and not Henoch. That's a different name and was used by various other persons. Henoch and Henoch. Here's the meaning, der Weise der Zeit. Then the next one here is Elia, Jesaja, Jeremiah, Immanuel, Muhammad, and Billy. Immanuel, who lived 2000 years ago and was later defamed by the upcoming Christianity as Jesus Christ, was called Immanuel in his time, and not Immanuel. Immanuel and not Immanuel, as we are calling or referring to him today. And as you know, Immanuel was fathered or procreated by Gabriel, an extraterrestrial. And Muhammad here was also in contact with an extraterrestrial, a man by the name Gospot. So when the Muslims are referring to Allah, actually it was a man of flesh and blood from another world with the name of Gospot. And here, to make the page complete here, Billy's real names are Eduard Albert Meyer, not Edward, not Albert, Eduard Albert Meyer, and not Meyer or Meyer, but Meyer. The combination here of the E and I here is usually pronounced in German as I, Meyer. Now, the book Talmud Immanuel, the correct version of what is worldwide known as the massively falsified New Testament, has been written by Judas Iscariot, a disciple of Immanuel. He has been the only disciple who could read and write, and the one who had betrayed Immanuel and had sold him for a bag of silver, and who is slanderously claimed as having been his disciple in the New Testament, was Judas Iscariot, and he was a son of the Pharisee Simon. And here you find the name here of the 7th of the pure spirit forms or levels, namely Petale, not Petali, Petale, the crown of creation. And the lowest of the 7 levels here, Arahat Atersata, the well one who contemplates time. That's the meaning of these. Okay, enough names now. Now we concentrate and move on to the peace meditation sentence, the Salome sentence. Salome Gamnan ben Urda Ganiber Asala Hesporona. This means, Frieden sei auf der Erde und unter allen Geschöpfen. Peace be on the earth and among all creatures or living beings. And the U here is abridged and accentuated. Urda. And this is Salome. Nan. Not nan. Nan. Now, in the closing section of my presentation, I will demonstrate to you the correct pronunciation of the Om. Om is an abbreviation for Omfalon ir Murado, meaning Gesetz der Schöpfung or Law of Creation. And among Askets people, the Timar, the Om is abbreviated as Oriseman. Oriseman, it has the identical meaning as Omfalon ir Murado, Gesetz der Schöpfung. Now to the correct pronunciation of the Om expression or Om phrase. Actually, there are 3 letters involved, namely the O, the U, and the M, the M. The symbol for the Om, or the Om symbol, has been brought to Earth over 13,500 years ago. And here you see the correct version, the ancient and original version, and here you see a false variation here. Okay, now regarding the correct pronunciation of the Om, it's pronounced like this. Om. Om. It doesn't matter if you are keeping on a level, like I just pronounced it, or if you go up after the O, like Om. Om. According to what Billy said, you should use this expression not for minutes or until you don't have any more your breath, but for about 5 to 10 seconds, as I just demonstrated it, and I will repeat it again. Om. And here you see the ratio between the 3 different letters here. The O, and then 3 times the U, and 2 times the M. Om. 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 Now it's your turn to practice this Om expression and use it for meditation purposes. It's a means for concentration during the meditation, and it has a beneficial effect can have on your psyche. And if you feel it here reverberating in your chest, the vibration, then you're doing it correctly. And when I say you will feel it here in your chest, this does also mean that you don't have to repeat the Om only in your mind, but you have to pronounce it with your voice. It only makes sense to use the Om if you speak it, if you say the Om. Yeah, and it's also important, perhaps as a last note here for you, repeating the Om does not bring enlightenment. That's no automatic way, just repeating and then at the end of your life you go to the nirvana or something like this. No, that's not the case. The really and decisive factor is what's in here in your head, within your skull, namely the brain. And within the brain you have your material consciousness, and with your material consciousness you are thinking. And actually it's how you think and what you think, that's how you shape your life. Because from your thoughts result the feelings, and also from your thoughts and feelings combined, but especially from your thoughts, your actions are steered and triggered. And therefore, controlling what you are thinking, it's your main task in your life. That's the real point where you are steering your destiny, your fate. Don't depend on anything, any God, any other person. It's you yourself with your own responsibility who is at the wheel of your life, and you alone are deciding in which direction your lives will go and where you will stop and not trespass into some problem. And so, yeah, that's up to you. So keep this in mind, and I think it's enough for today. And so I have to say goodbye and salami.